This is the first tutorial for creating the fidget spinner gift box. In this tutorial, we're going to create the fidget tray. So this is going to be a custom form fit shadow box or shadow tray for the fidget spinner. So in order to do this, there's a few things we're going to need to do. The first of which is we need to take the assembly and we need to export it as a step file. This is going to allow us to take that exported step file and then turn it into just one giant solid. So I'm going to go down here to my assembly. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to export. Once I get in here, I'm going to give it a name. So as always, I like to put the year, who I am, all right, Senior Tech Ed, and then what it is. So this is the spinner assembly. Okay. And then as for post-processing, I'm not going to do anything. My option is to download it. That's where I want to save it to. Everything else we can just leave unchecked. So I'm going to hit export. Now that that's done, I'm going to come down here to the plus symbol in OnShape, and I'm going to import. So yes, I'm exporting it just to import it back in. So here it is in my downloads, right at the top. I'm going to hit open. Now this part's really important. I want to make sure that when it comes in, I combine all those individual pieces into a single part studio. I don't want to have multiple tabs down at the bottom of my file. I want it all to be in one so that I can combine them all together. So that part's important. I'm going to uncheck where it says import appearances, and then I want to join any adjacent surfaces. So the surfaces that we have between the bearings and the outside of the body, that's all just going to get joined as one surface. All right. So now I'm going to hit import. And when I do, I should get a new tab that comes up at the bottom. So let's go to that part studio. So when I'm in that part studio, you see I've got all those pieces are brought in. They're brought in separate pieces. I want to combine all of those right now. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just uncheck or hide all of the reference planes. And then I'm gonna come over here to my parts and I'm gonna grab all of my bearings and the hubs, as well as the solid body. Okay, so everything's turned gold. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to use my Boolean operation. Now, if you don't see your Boolean operation, it might be hidden. But the other thing you do is you can always go to search tools and start typing the word Boolean. Okay. Again, I didn't have to spell the whole thing, but there it is. It's going to show me where it is. It allows me to select it from the search tools, and that works. In this case, I don't want to keep the tools. So I don't want to keep these individual bits and pieces. Okay, I just want to combine this. So to combine it, I'm going to use what's called a union. All right, a union is going to unite or join all of those pieces into one solid shape. So now I'm going to green check. And when I do, I'm left with a single part that's called 608 bearing. All right. Um, I don't really care about the name at this point. If you want to right click and rename it, you can. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, so now what I want to do is make sure my orientation cube is set right. Right. So I'm going to look at this from my front view. Okay, what I care about more than anything is the bottom half of this, and you'll see why as we go through this. So I'm going to zoom in by scrolling with my mouse, and then I'm going to right click and drag down just a hair so I can see this surface right here. All right, I'll zoom in a little bit further. Okay, and the reason why I want to select the surface is when I go to create the shadow tray for this, if I leave this gap here, that's going to mess me up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select that face. I'm going to come up here to extrude. All right, and I'm going to extrude that, but instead of doing a blind extrusion, all right. So if I zoom out, you'll see a blind extrusion is going to plunge right through the whole thing. Okay, I'm just going to extrude up to next, and what that does is that's going to extrude that right up until it hits the surface of what was the body. Okay, I'm going to hit merge with all because there's only one part there, anyways, and I'm going to hit the green check. So now that that's done, what you'll see is when I look at this from my front view, okay, my top still has this gap, okay, and I don't care about the top, but the bottom, the gap is gone, all right? And again, that's going to be really handy for us to be able to make the shadow tray correctly. All right, so now that that's done, I'm just right clicking and dragging. Okay, so I can see this a little bit better. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a reference plane that splits this right down the middle of the body. Okay, so I'm going to go up to my planes tool. Okay, and again, if you can't find it, come over here, search for the tool, PLAN. There it is. Okay, I didn't even have to spell the whole thing. Select it. Okay, for my reference plane type, I want to go to the drop down and choose mid plane. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my entities and I'm going to select the top, and then I'll roll this up and I'll select the bottom face of the body. Okay, when I do, if I go to my front, you're going to see that reference plane splits right down the middle. That's what I wanted, so I'm going to green check. I'll put this into isometric view by clicking on the mini cube over here and hitting isometric. And you can see there's my new reference plane. I'll select plane one. I can select it here in the design space, or if I click off, I can select it here in the features tree or the design tree. So I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to create a new sketch. I'm going to hit N on my keyboard to get normal to my sketch. And now what I want to do is I want to draw a corner rectangle. So I'll go up to my rectangle tool. Okay, if you don't see corner rectangle at the top, then click the drop down arrow and go to corner rectangle. The shortcut for corner rectangle is the G key. So now I'm just going to click a rectangle that surrounds the entirety of it. The next thing I want to do is I want to figure out the spacing for this. So what I want is I want to set it up so that this is 1/4 of an inch away from the outside edge of on all sides. So the way I'm going to do that is by grabbing a reference of this edge. Now, if I come in here and I try to put down a point on this, it's not going to snap to it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use the use or project tool. Okay. The shortcut for that is the letter U. And then I'm going to grab this outside edge. Notice how it lets me grab the edge. Okay, I'm going to mouse over this edge outside here. When it highlights, I'm going to click on it and do the same thing for this one down here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hide my part. So poke out the eyeball, and you can see I have these 3 semicircles. Now, if you happen to have made a fidget spinner that has more than 3, okay, then make sure you get all 4 and you know who you are. So now I'm done with the use feature or the use tool. I'm going to select these just by clicking on all 3 of them, and then I'm going to convert those to construction geometry. You can hit the Q key, that does the same thing. And now I'm going to click off. I'm going to go to my dimension tool. The shortcut for that is the letter D on your keyboard. So I'm going to dimension from the outside edge down to the first circle. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to set that to 0.25 inches IN. Now, I've been working metric this whole time. So if I put in 0.25 inches and put in the units, when I hit enter, you'll notice it will automatically convert that to 6.35 millimeters. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing on the outside here. All right, 0.25 inches or IN. Come down here, up to the bottom of this, 0.25 inches. And then the last one, come on over, set that to 0.25 inches. All right, so now I've got that set on all sides. So I'm going to green check, I'm done with that sketch. I'm going to select that sketch and I'm going to turn my solid body visible again by bringing the eyeball back. Okay, and I'm going to put this into isometric view. So I have this rectangle that splits right through the middle of this. And what I want to do is I want to extrude it. So I'm going to go to my extrude. I want to make sure it extrudes down. So I'll flip my direction. And I want to set the distance to 9 millimeters. Okay. When that's done, I want to make sure this is set up. I don't want to add this to the solid that's already there. So I want to make sure it's set for a new solid. Okay, so that's going to create a new part down here. And I'm going to green check. So now I'll come over here to part number 2. I'm going to right click on it. And I'm going to rename it. And we'll just call this tray. All right, this is gonna be the custom fit or custom molded shadow tray for this. Now, if I turn off the bearing, you'll see it's just a rectangular slab. There's no fancy pockets or anything in it yet. So what I need to do is, I'll turn that back on. I'm going to create what's called a Boolean subtraction. So before we use the Boolean tool to add all of our parts together, now we're going to use it to create the pocket that we want. So again, I can go up to my Boolean tool right here. If I can't find it, I can search for BOL. There it is. Select my Boolean tool. In this case, I'm going to use a subtraction. All right. The tool I want to use, so make sure you don't have anything selected here. The tool is going to be the fidget spinner. All right, or this first part that we've got here. So I'll select as my tool. The target that I want to cut into is going to be the tray itself. Okay, and then the question is, do I want to keep the fidget spinner when I'm done? And in this case, I'm going to say yes. So let's keep the tool. All right, what that's going to do for us is that's going to allow us to see um, how well it fits in there, because the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add this offset in. So what the offset's going to do is the offset is going to allow us to add a little bit of a gap outside of our fidget spinner, so that way there's a little bit of an opening to make it easier to get the fidget spinner in and out. It won't be too tight. All right, so I'm going to hit offset in all directions, and I'm going to set my offset distance um, to 0.5 millimeters. Okay. Um, I know I'm not going to reapply the fillet. I think we're fine without it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide the visibility of the bearing, and you get a quick preview of what it's going to look like. So now a green check. If I turn the visibility of the bearing back on, and then I look at it from the top view, what you're going to notice when we zoom in is that I have a little bit of a gap between this and the outside edge. And that gap should exist to all surfaces. So that means there will also be a gap around the hub on the bottom, so it won't necessarily get stuck in there as you go to take it in and out. All right, and you can see it only comes up halfway. So everything looks pretty good here. The last thing you might want to do is you might want to go to your front view. Okay. And we'll do what's called a section view. So if we come down here, click on that little mini cube, go to section view. All right. You'll see it allows you to do a cutaway. I'm going to grab this arrow and I'm just going to drag it in till we get into about the middle. And what I'm looking for here is when I do my cutaway and I zoom in, I want to make sure that this comes straight down. Okay, I don't want it to have any slits coming in like this on the bottom half. Okay, if that happens, then you're going to have trouble using this as a tray. Okay, so that's why I did that section view there, just to make sure that looks good. It's good. So I'm going to hit the red X and just cancel the section view because I got the information that I wanted from it. So now I'll turn off the 608 bearing or the rest of the fidget spinner. And you'll notice I have these 3 pins here. Okay, I don't want those 3 pins there. That's going to make it annoying to try and get the fidget spinner out of it. So one final thing I should do before we move on to the next video is I'm going to select these 3 top surfaces. I'm going to go to my extrude and I'm going to do a remove. Now I could tell it how far I want it to remove, but the reality is I'm just going to set my end condition, instead of being blind, up to face. And then the face I'm going to choose is going to be this bottom of the pocket right here. And if I leave it so that it's merged with the tray, then I'm good. I don't want it to merge with the 608 bearing. So I'm just going to green check. There we go. So now you'll notice there's no pins coming up out of it. Okay. And there's room for the bottom hub. There's room for the fidget spinner itself. And I think everything looks good. So this is probably a good place for us to stop and then move on to the next tutorial.